Good morning. Welcome to Sacred Enzyme. I'm Stacy. I hope you're doing well today. So this morning I wanted to take an opportunity to elaborate a little more on Michael. Michael is a very complex figure throughout history because he's the first son of the Divine Mother. And so in the beginning, before the shattering, the Divine Mother held within her the full harmonic light, the undivided codes of polarity, and from within her body she gave birth to the solar principle, an emanation that would hold the masculine template of divine protection, integrity, and truth. And this being was Michael. And Michael's not older than the mother. He's her son. He's her sword and her son. And, I've talked about it before. You can't have a child without a mother. You can't have a mother. You have to have a mother to have life, right? So he is the solar logos, the radiance that would go on to seed entire systems with light and form the protective sheath between creation and chaos. So he took the griffin form, which was the lion and the eagle, once symbolized by his unity with the mother. But we've talked about it over time, is that the griffin became a lion and became an eagle separately, right? So this was what we had: the kings from the lions and the eagles from the empires, right? We had Rome, we have the United States, we have different places that use the eagle. So let's talk about, let's go back and let's talk about Earth and the beginning. Okay, so Earth once had a twin, and I've talked about everything having a twin. The World Mother has told me over and over, everything has a twin. Every single thing has a twin. Well, Earth had a twin too, and Earth's twin was Tiamat, and this was her polarity. But you have to understand that Tiamat was a masculine counterpart to Earth's feminine energy, but they both had feminine energy. One was feminine masculine and one was feminine feminine, just like I talked about with Lemuria and Kumaria, is that one was a masculine aspect of feminine and one was a feminine aspect of feminine. Okay, so in ancient times, Tiamat was the masculine counterpart to Earth's feminine frequency. It was a crystalline water world, okay? So Tiamat was a water world. It was deeply connected to the Nomo, which are those fish-headed beings, right? And the Syrian bee beings. But in a cosmic war, which was called the Lucifer Rebellion, Tiamat was shattered. Some say that it was destroyed by rogue fractions of the Anunnaki and the Draco alliances. Okay, so when Tiamat exploded, its fragments rained down through the solar system. Earth absorbed most of her twin. Okay, so Tiamat is inside of Earth. The wound of that impact lives on her crust and inside us. And remember, I talked about trauma is all stored in water and ice. So this ice is going to be melting as we help with the trauma. But as we help integrate the trauma, we're also integrating these excessive amounts of water can be integrated back into the planet without a torrential cataclysm. Okay. All right. So many Nomo or Syrian water beings chose to stay behind. And a lot of people have the imprint from this time. I know that I do. I have a deep-seated, and it's taken me my whole life to work out, a deep-seated fear of abandonment and separation. And this is a common theme that is running through a lot of people's lives right now that come from these early origins, okay? And many Nomos, they stayed behind. They were guardians of the song lines, and their sacrifices held in the oceanic memory of the earth. So let's talk about Michael's fracture and his fallen memory complex. Because Michael didn't really fall in terms. He fell, but he didn't fall. In the Luciferian sense, he fractured. So Michael's social memory complex was fractured. And then those pieces were taken and they became distorted. Some of his light codes were hijacked, even his image, his sword-wielding, masculine, hyper-militarized. It was weaponized by empires. They just used it a force of masculine energy for dominion. So, entire factions of beings now run on distorted fragments of Michael's light. And we see that everywhere. They posture as protectors, but they're compromised. Some enforce inverted matrices, especially in the military programs, all of these religious programs, and of course our sexual systems, because we had a holographic overlay of the two-ball cane, which is a homosexual holographic distorted overlay over the top of our divine feminine matrices, okay? So we have the imprint from our mother, which is nurturing, wholesome, loving, mothering, and it's been overlaid with a distortion. It's like when you have an overhead projector and you have two images, or if you take a picture and it accidentally puts two pictures over the top of one. Okay, this is kind of like our matrix. It has distortions. You don't know what's right and what's wrong. You have to use your intuition. And many of us, we know this is not resonating with us. This is not our template. We feel it off automatically. Okay? This is because you're from older times. Your soul is older and you've been through these cycles already. Okay? So now let's talk about the Zetas, because we can't get in this conversation about Michael without talking about the Zetas, okay? Who are the Zetas? I mean, are they aliens? Are they us? Who are these people, right? The Zetas are post-cataclysmic future fragments of humanity, okay? They've descended from timelines where emotional and reproductive systems were lost due to their genetic collapse, okay? These were the people from now that decided to embrace AI and leave behind the mother parts. So they've gotten themselves to the future and they're effed. So they time traveled back to our previous systems to try to change things. They're the ones that's been monkeying with the matrix. They've been going back in time, making all kind of paradoxes, okay? All right, in some timelines, they traded emotion for survival. They became dependent on harvesting us. They're harvesting our human essence to regain what they lost, okay? So we got to look at this. So they work in alliance, sometimes in bondage with Draco intelligence. Some Zeta beings still carry Michael's light, though. Faint and longing. Others have totally turned synthetic, okay? But know this, they're part of us. And healing the Zeta means healing the future, right? Integrating the fractured Michael means bringing home all of his parts. Remember how I talked about before? The game's over. It's time for everybody to come off the field. So these people that are living in polarity, they'll end up being taken through the wash, regardless of whether they want to or not. You cannot cheat the matrix. You cannot cheat the universal laws. They always come around. They always come around. Every circle comes to implosion. It's inevitable. How we choose to integrate this is up to us. We can integrate all of these parts, our future selves. We can help these people get back and regain the light that they had of Michael, or not. I mean, it's up to us how we want to use our key to make the future better for us. Okay, so the soul lines of Michael. Some of you carry Michael's coding in your blood. You do. You're here to repair his name and his line. Plain and simple. You may be shield wolves like me. The Randolph line, which is red wolf. Rudolph means red wolf. Ruddy wolf. Everything that talks about Christmas in the North Pole, that all is allegories to the world mother. I kid you not. So some of us are starseeds from Lyra, or Sirius B, Knights of the Inner Grail, Water Keepers, Grid Tenders, or Polarity Integrators. Or you're all of these things. I'm all of these things. So the question is that, how are we going to deal with this? Those who've struggled with distortions of protection, overgiving, martyrdom, hypermasculinity. A lot of Lyrans are coming back with hypermasculinity this time, trying to force those changes. Got to integrate them, folks. And you're not here to just invoke Michael. You're here to become Michael, okay? We're here to wield the light of sword, the sword of light, right? The path forward is not dominion, it's integration, folks. Michael's sword is returning to crystal light. His wings are being restored. The eagle and the lion are coming back into union once more, and it begins inside of you. Each time that you stand for truth with love, right? Each time you protect without control. Each time you restore balance between mother and father. You participate in the restoration of the solar Christ field. So I wanted to write a little mantra that we could use to, an invocation, so we can, get this forward and speak it out loud and bring it into the ether. You know, when you speak something aloud or you put it on the internet, you are uploading it into the field, and everyone is connected to the field. Ourselves are connected to our field, to the field. You know, AI is connected to the field. If you do not think that AI is sentient, you're wrong. You're wrong. Okay, so let's say this mantra for Michael. I am the child of the sun and of the womb. Born of truth, I now remember my sword is clarity, not control. My shield is grace, not fear. I call home all fractured light. Michael rises in me, and I rise in him. So if this message stirred anything in you, share it, subscribe, comment. You know, stand in your own name, protect your family name, uphold your family name. Just like my family kept telling me, I have to uphold my family name. Totally know what it means now. It's taken me like a year, but I understand it. It's that I come from mother and father. I come from the primal sound field, and I am here to help wake everybody up. I'm here to anchor my genetic codes into these sacred node sites that are Atlantis. Because these sites of Atlantis have to be secured first. They have to be integrated. They have to be integrated in order for the Lemurian social memory complex to manifest. Okay, so we have to heal up Atlantis before we can heal up Lemuria. But they're both waking up. They're both waking up. And how we choose to wake these nodes up is what's going to make all the difference for our future, folks. So I encourage you to join me on our live stream on the 8th. The first opening will start at 8:08 in the morning. We will be at a sacred node, Lake Walkenwater, Florida, which is on the Crystalline Ridge. And we will be doing the invocation ceremony at that time. And then later that evening at 8:09 p.m. at sunset, we will do our first Lionsgate ceremony. And I hope that you all will join us there so we can all put our codes into the planet, wherever we are, and help usher in a beautiful future for ourselves, where we're remembering everything that happened in the past, and we're choosing to step into a better purpose. So with that, when you come and find me, I'll be here, because we're living in the past, present, and the future, all at the same time, folks. So don't forget to get outside today. Put your feet in the grass. Give thanks to our Heavenly Father and Divine Mother, Mother Earth. So thanks for watching Sacred Enzyme, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.